Hello everyone, Rex here again from TorchPrep. We're doing more math videos from the Red Book. I am currently in Test 4, problem number 40. So what I want you to do is get out the Red Books, open up to this question, read it, just pause the video while you do, and press play when you're ready to go. Okay, now we're at the end of our series of 3 word problems that all deal with the data about who approved, disapproved, and had no opinion about the change in hours at the community center. So here we are. This one, again, is a word problem, and if you don't like word problems, it is okay to skip this and do it in the work portion of our test. But honestly, let's practice our strategy, because I want you to get so comfortable with word problem strategy that some of them become quick and easy for you, because the math inside some of these word problems is not that hard. So I want you to be able to start in survey more and more often with the word problem strategy if you want to. I know you can. Let's dive in. Now in this one, again, we're going to start with step 1 of our word problem strategy. What are we trying to find? We are trying to find the percent of high school students who approve. Now, step 2 is very important. We need to ask, what do we know? We have new information given to us here that was not in the previous 2 questions. We found that at 15 of the non-students who were under column A for approve were misplaced there. They were actually belonging in the 2 student categories of college and high school. So 15 from this cell belong in the 2 cells above it. All we know, though, is after the corrections were made, the college students who approved equaled 60%. So, with that information, we have to find out how many of the 15 were redistributed to the college student row, then how many left over were put correctly in the high school row of approved, and then find out what percentage of those overall went to high school. Honestly, that's 3 simple steps of math, but I know how this one can seem overwhelming. One step at a time, we can do it all. So, what we need to think about is, in the college bracket, what we're looking for, we're trying to add a number of students to the college section so that it will equal 60%, like 6 over 10, right? Currently, there are 14 students who approve, and there are 30 college students in all. I'll put a big C up here because we're dealing with college students right now in our survey. But what we want to know is, what number can we add that will make this equal? Because currently, 14 over 30 is not equal to 6 over 10. So I'm going to put an X in the numerator and denominator and ask, what can be X to make 14 over 30 grow in such a way that it becomes 60% or 6 out of 10? Now, if I solve for X, I will find out what number of students out of the 15 were added to the college category after the corrections were made. So let's solve for X. The first step I'm going to do is I am going to cross multiply. Get everything out of those denominators. It'll make life a lot easier. So I have 6 times, 30 plus X on one side, and I have 10 times 14 plus X on the other. Now, let's distribute. 6 times 30 is 180 plus 6x. I'm multiplying the 6 times that x as well. And then 10 times 14 is 140 plus 10x. Very nice. I'm going to subtract 140 from both sides. Just quickly subtract that. So I'm going to end up with 40 plus 6x equals 10x. Now I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides and end up with 40 equals 4x. Pretty easy. We can figure out what that would be, right? X equals 10. That is the number of students that were added to this category here. Away from this category into this. College students who approved became 24 was the correct number that they changed after they found out their mistake. So, of the 15 N approvals that are getting moved, 10 of them are getting moved to the college category. That means of our 15 total, we're taking away 10 and putting them in the college category. I'm going to put a C next to that. It means I have 5 students left over who are going to get redistributed in the high school approved category. So we have to ask, what are we trying to find? The percentage of students in high school who approve. Let me do a little bit of erasing, and I'm going to get a little bit more room so that we can quickly figure that out. So I know there are 5 high school students who approve. Now, if I already have 30 high school students who approve, and I'm going to add 5 to it. Now, if I want to find the percentage, I also need to know what is the total number of students in all. So if you take 30 plus 4 and plus 11, you will end up with 45. That was the original total number of all high school students, but we're also adding 5 new students to the total number of high school students represented on the table, and specifically to 30. So let's figure that out. That ends up being 35 over 50. That is the number of students high school students who approve over the total number of high school students on our table now. Pop that in your calculator, 35 divided by 50, and you will get 0.7, which obviously, when converted to a percentage, equals 70% of high schoolers approve of the change, which is letter answer H. Fantastic job. Move on to the next question.